Hi, welcome to my video on the perimeter of quadrilaterals. Perimeter of quadrilaterals. The perimeter of a quadrilateral is the sum of the lengths of its sides. And a quadrilateral has four sides. We got here A, B, C, D. So no sides are equal, so the perimeter is A plus B plus C plus D, because no sides are equal. So the perimeter of 6, 10, 4, and 8, we can go around 6 plus 10 plus 4 plus 8. So 16, add on 12 is 28, and it's meters. Now I could have said 16 plus 4 is 20 plus 8, but I just added the first two and the last two and got the same answer because it's all addition. So I can add left to right. Parallelogram perimeter. Notice the parallelogram notation is two parallel lines with a 0 on O with gram. Parallelogram is a shortcut for me, the way I use it. A parallelogram has opposite sides parallel and it has opposite sides equal. So if you say that's an A, that's A. If you say that's B, that's B. So it's A plus B plus B. So a parallelogram is 2A plus 2B because the opposite sides are equal. And in this case we have 2A plus 2B, and A is 8 and B is 9. And that gives us 16, 18, which is 34, and we have centimeters. And again, this is a parallelogram, and the opposite sides are parallel to each other, like up on top, and the same here. So I put the parallel lines in to say this is a parallelogram, and 2A plus 2B is the formula, and A could be 14, and B could be 19. So that multiply A gives you 28, and 2 times 19 is 38, and add, we get a 66. 66, and it's in millimeters. And practice means pause and see if you can work this one out. Again, this is parallel sides, having a parallelogram. So the formula for a parallelogram is 2A plus 2B for perimeter. And A could be, notice we have centimeters and millimeters, and we didn't say what we wanted in. So we could change, if we want, 2 centimeters is 20 millimeters. So we can make a 20 and a 25. We got to have the same units. I could have changed millimeters to 2.5 and done with centimeters. So that's a 40 and a 50. So we have 90 millimeters. Again, I could have did it in centimeters, and if I did in centimeters, I would have got 9. So it didn't give me a choice, so I can do what I wish. So 90 millimeters is the perimeter of the parallelogram. And we have a rectangle perimeter. A rectangle has 4 right angles. So we got 4 right angles, and normally in a rectangle we call it length and length, width and width. And the formula is L, 2L plus 2W, because we have an L plus W plus an L plus a W. And when we add the 2 L's, we get 2L. Add the W's, we get 2W. So the formula for the perimeter of a rectangle is 2L plus 2W. And we have a rectangle. Again, just make sure we have right angles in this corner. I'm saying it's a rectangle. So put right angles to make sure. And we have 2L plus 2W. The length is 14. And the width is 6. Normally the length is longer than the width. That's a 28 plus 12. That's 40 inches. And we have another rectangle, right angles in the corner. And 2L plus 2W, and notice they're all centimeters, so we're okay. So it's the length is longer, so it's 8.1. The width is 3.6. So 2 times 8.1 is 16.2. 2 times 3.6 is 7.2. And we add and we get 23.4. Decimals under decimals when we add, and we have centimeters. Practice means pause the video and work out the answers and play back to see if you're right. This is a rectangle. A rectangle is a length, width. We got 2L plus 2W. So we got 2 times the length is 3.5. The width is 2.25. Now we're going to multiply these. Normally when you multiply with mixed numbers, you change them to improper fractions. Oh, mate, that's a 2 there, sorry. So what we do, we go 3 times 2 is 6 plus 1 is 7. So that's 7 over 2. 2 times 4 is 8 plus 1 is 9. So that's 9 over 4. And we can cancel. 2's cancel. I get a 7. 2 cancels. And I get 9 over 2. 9 over 2 is 4.5 or 4.5. So that's 11.5. And it's meters for the perimeter. So I could have made 9 over 2. 4.5. We got 11.5. Number 2, a rectangle has a length of 2 feet, and a width of 18 inches. Find the perimeter in feet. So the perimeter is in feet, so the 2 feet is okay. So let's change the 18. So 18 divided, there's 12 inches in a foot, so 18 into 12 is 1, and 6/12. So 6/12 is 1/2. So we can leave it as 1.5 or 1.5. So the perimeter of a rectangle is 2L plus 2W. So it's 2 feet. And the width is 1.5 feet or 1.5. 2 times 2 is 4. And that's 1 times 2 plus 1 is 3 over 2. The 2's cancel. 1, so I get 4 plus 3. So the perimeter of the rectangle in feet is 7. Let's continue. What about the perimeter of a rhombus? Well, a rhombus has all sides equal. So a rhombus is S and an S and an S and an S. Similar to a square, but a square is S, 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 S. But a square has a right angle. That's the difference between a rhombus and a square. So that be the case. S plus S plus S plus S is, oops, I better put a 4 right here. 4S. Because you're adding up all the S's, like terms. So P equals, again, this is a rhombus. A rhombus has all sides equal. So therefore, you have 4S. So it's 4 times 8, 32 meters. And again, let's mark all the sides equal. We're saying it's a rhombus up here, so let's mark them all equal to make sure we have a rhombus. So 4S, 4 times 5.7, and you multiply that out, and you get 22.8, and it's yards. If you multiply with a calculator, and you get 22.8. Practice means pause the video and work out the answer. Find the perimeter of each rhombus. Again, rhombus means if they say it's a rhombus, we know that all sides are equal. So P equals 4S. 4 times 6 and 1/2. And 6 and 1/2 is 13 over 2. 2 times 6 is 12 plus 1 is 3. 3 into 6 goes 2 into 6 goes 3. And 3 times 13 is 39. So the perimeter, it could have, if you wanted to, made it 6.5 and multiplied, and you would have got just notice 2 into that goes 2. So that's 26. 26. Because when I multiplied here by 6.5, I said that's a 24 plus 2. So that's 26. So sorry about that. When I rewrote the 4 here, I made that a 6 instead of a 4. So 26 millimeters is the perimeter of that rhombus. If this is a rhombus, all the sides are equal. So the perimeter is 4 times S, 4 times 14.3. And when you multiply, you get a 2. That's a 56. 57 plus 1 is 14 times 4 is 56 plus 1 is 57, or use your calculator. And you have miles. So the perimeter, formula for the perimeter of a rhombus is 4 times S, the same as a square. And we have a square being used here now. So this is a square. So a square is all sides are equal. And the only difference is the right angles in the corner. Put the formula, that's an S, an S, an S, and an S. So it's the 4S. So the formula for the perimeter of a rhombus and the formula for the perimeter of a square is the same. And we have a square, all sides equal, and we have right angles. So P equals 4S, 4 times 11, 44 meters. And again, we have a mark at 3 sides this time, just for something a bit different. All the sides are equal. We have all 4 right angles as a square. So 4S is the perimeter, and it's 4 times 3.8, and we get 15.2. Use your calculator, or again, just for a bit of fun. 4 times 8 is 32. You got to carry a 315, and you got 1 decimal place. So you start here, 1 decimal place, 15.2, and it's feet. Pause the video and work out these 2 answers for the perimeter of a square. Here we go. We have each is a square. So because it's a square, we know all sides are equal and 4 right angles. So P equals 4S. 4 times 2 1/6. And 2 times 6 is 12, plus 1 is 13 over 6. 2 into 4 goes 2. 2 into 6 goes 3. So that gives us 26 over 3. And 3/8 are 24 and 2 left over. So 8 2/3 centimeters is the perimeter of that square. And we have a square here. P is equal to 4S for the perimeter. So it's 4 times 10.4. And 4 4s are 16, so it's a 41.6, and it's yards. So the perimeter of a square and the perimeter of a rhombus is the same formula. 4 times the length of the side, 4S. And we have a trapezoid. Perimeter of a trapezoid is a quadrilateral with, and depends on what country you're in, but I'm going to say with only one pair of sides parallel. These are the 2 bases, these are the legs. And the perimeter here is, that's an A, and that's a B, and that's a C, and that's a D. They're all different. A plus B plus C plus D is the perimeter. But if you have an isosceles triangle, then this side, these 2 legs are equal, the bases are not. So we could call that an A and a B, and call that a C. So we have A plus B plus 2 C's for the perimeter of an isosceles. We can also have a right trapezoid. Right trapezoid means you have, yes, 2 pairs of, let's go with parallel lines here. It's only 1 pair. And a right trapezoid means if the 2 lines are parallel to each other, which they are, if it's perpendicular to one of them, it's perpendicular to the other one. So if it's perpendicular on this one, it's perpendicular on this one. And so there's no equal lengths here. There's an A, B, a C, and a D for perimeter. A plus B plus C plus D. And for a bit of practice, we want to find the perimeter here. So the perimeters, add them all up. So it's 3, add on 3.1, add on 4.2, add on 7.4. And when you take your time with a calculator or your head and add all those up, line them up, you get a 17.4 when you add them up. And it's meters. Remember, perimeter is 1 unit. And the exponent is just m to the 1. And the perimeter of this one, there's 2 of them, so we can go P equals 2 times 1 and 1/6, because there's 2 of them, plus 2 2/3 plus 3 5/6. So I can change between proper fractions and get a common denominator. I could, so let's change 7/6. 8 plus 6 plus 2 is 8/3. 3 6 are 18, 23/6. I got to multiply it by 2, so that will give me, I can cancel here and get a 3, right? So common denominator is 6, so I multiply by 2/2, so it's 14/6. Multiply by 2/2, I get 16/6, and 23/6. I have a common denominator of 6, add them all up, I get 30, and I get a 53. And so when I work it out, 6 9s are 54, 6 8s are 48. So it's 8 5/6 meters. So what I did, I changed them, all the mixed numerals to improper fractions and worked on the common denominator then. Okay, practice. Pause the video and work the 2 of these out. Perimeter of each trapezoid, and all the sides are different, so it's just a 7 plus a 6 plus 11 plus a 13. And again, 13, 26, 37. You can go 13, add on 11 is 24, 34, 37. So it's, add them all up. Oh, that's inches. Okay. And number 2, I got 2 sides the same, so the perimeter is twice the 3.9 because there's 2 of them are equal. And I got an 8.4, add on 10.3. And 2 times 3.9 is 7.8, 8.4, 10.3. And if I add all that up, I will get 26.5. Yep. This is 12. And 3 is 15, carry 1, 50, 16, 26.5, and it's in centimeters. So we have the trapezoid done. We're going through all the perimeters of the quadrilaterals, just to make sure. Now we have a kite, and in a kite, these 2 sides are equal here, and these 2 sides here are equal. A kite has no parallel sides, just adjacent sides are equal. So we have A plus A is 2A, and A and B plus B is 2B. So a kite has a 2A and a 2B. So it's 2 times 3 plus 2 times 7. 6 plus 14 is 20. So that's 20 inches. And this one is P is equal to 2A plus 2B. And again, they're all in centimeters, so it's 2.7 and 5.6. So that's a 5.4, and that's a 11.2. And when we add them up, we get a 16.6 centimeters for the perimeter of this kite. Practice means pause the video and work the 2 of these out. When you get them done, press play. So that's a 1.8 right there, and that's a 3.4 there, so that's 2A plus 2B. So it's a 1.8 and a 3.4. That's 3.6, and that's a 6.8. And when you add them, you get a 10.4, and it's meters. And number 2, we have, oh, be careful. Notice we're floating along here, inches, centimeters, but now we have yards and feet, so we have to either know that there's a 3 feet in a yard and make this yards or make that feet, so we can either or. So if we take the 4 and multiply that by 3 and make it convert it to feet, because there's 3 feet in the yard. So 16, 17 over 4. That gives us, can't cancel, so that's a 51 over 4, which is 51 over 4. We can leave it like that and work it out further because we're going to have to double it. So the perimeter is 2a plus 2b. So it's 51.4, 51 over 4. 2 times 23. 2's cancel. And 51 over 2, that's a 25 and a half. That's a 46. And that adds up to be 70, 60, 71 and a half. 71 and a half. And it's, I converted to feet. So note, there's 3 feet in the yard, so we multiplied and got 51 over 4, double it, double both of them, and we got it all in feet. So that brings us to working out the perimeter of triangles in the first video. Now we get the perimeters of all the quadrilaterals, which is rectangles, parallelograms, squares, rhombuses, kites, and etc. So hope you enjoyed your video. Click the like button, the subscribe button if you're not a subscriber, and the notification bell because there's more videos coming. Write a comment on my videos if you wish, if you're a subscriber, and visit my math website, mathfullyexplained.com. Get information on me, the videos, the type of teaching style I'm going to use, and the content that I have on my YouTube channel. And thank you very much. Bye-bye.